Good evening. Hello, Applebrooks, honey. Hello, Christine Mott, honey. You got a notification. This is tonight. I actually did a video on my YouTube channel. So I had asked a question. I asked a question on here about if an astronaut went through a wormhole, would it take 1 second of their time to travel 10,000 miles in a light year distance? How much time would pass in a light year? Well, I didn't really get any definitive answers over here about the time frame, but it's okay. We got the Van Halen belt and things like that. Okay, 170 seconds, 9.8. You know what I've noticed? If you look at this, they put an object thing on the end of that. I asked it also on my Facebook, the same thing. Look, they put an object thing on the end of that when I asked it on my Facebook. They put an object thing at the end of every single one of my comments, I guess, to watch me. That's what I think they did. See, they did it again. They put an object thing on my comment to watch me, you all. But that's the question. Let me read it to you all. If an astronaut went through a wormhole, it would take only 1 second of their time to travel 10,000 light years distance. How much time would pass in order to travel 8.5 billion light years? 8.5 billion light years. That's the question. So I wanted to know. I really did. And I'm going to tell you why I wanted to know. I was thinking about that black hole. That they called it a monster. The invisible monster. We've been talking about the black hole, the Hubble Space Telescope and stuff like that. And I remember reading about it earlier in the year. We've done a few videos on it, super, recent, but it's in the news now. The invisible monster, see, they've already dubbed it a monster, and it's invisible, is located at the end of the column of its parent galaxy with a remarkably bright knot of ionized oxygen and outermost tip. We think that we're seeing the wake behind the black hole where gas cools and forms. So what is the monster black hole? Is it a threat? The specific, so look at that, runaway black hole monster, never before seen trail of stars in its wake, monster, super black hole, as much as 20 million things you can see right here. Runaway, it's ripping and tearing through space. North, 20 million suns, invisible, intergalactic, barreling through space. So fast as if it were in our, there's an invisible monster on the loose, barreling through the intergalactic space so fast that if it were in our solar system, it could travel from the Earth to the moon in what was it, 14 days or 14 hours or something like that. 14 minutes. 14 minutes. Okay, so we got that. Hello, Gina, honey. Hello, you all. We're going to go somewhere with this. We are going to go. That's right, because it's really important. I'll take you to the very beginning. We're going to start from the beginning. How did Gina, honey, get to asking about that? I'm sitting there. I actually relaxed, and I got to read about black holes and stuff like this. And look, do doors to interdimensional travel exist? This is from northropgrumman.com. So I got to thinking about interdimensional travel. Last year they looked at the multiverse theory, which is highly speculative, but very real science behind what has become a phenomenon. It isn't just Stranger Things anymore. Interdimensional travel and portals that might allow it are everywhere these days. This is where I got to. When the going gets weird, the weird get going. There's instructions how to build multiverse portals. It's just sort of like the metaverse. It's sort of like that's what it reminds me of, the metaverse, you all. They're not for a computer game module. Anywhere you look, you can find things about interdimensional stuff. And this movie, Stranger Things, and Upside Down. I never watched any of this, but that sounds kind of strange. Kind of strange you will look. It's not just a carbon copy of the universe. It says, a cosmologist told Smithsonian parallel universes. A parallel universe may in fact exist in other dimensions, separate from our own surroundings by distances vastly smaller than the size of an atomic nucleus. But as Randall cautions, it's not just a carbon copy of the universe, which a lot of people think of when they hear the phrase. It's not just a copy. There was actually a starship, a Star Trek species, who it was called the silver something, the silver liquid. When the two scientists went down on the original Star Trek, I think with Jane on it, or whoever she was, Captain Jane, whoever she was. And this silver liquid, the atmosphere was poisonous. The two people passed out, and the silver liquid, it duplicated their bodies. It got all their memories and everything. And long story short, she finds her two crewmen unconscious, and the silver life forms. She finds out that they are duplicates, and they ask her to please, since they realize that they are human, they think they're human, could they please replicate or duplicate the whole entire starship and stuff and everybody on there? And she agreed, and they went away and all of that. Okay, that's how I got on it. But start with a handy black hole. I'm talking about a black hole now. We're going to get to the subject matter here about this wormhole. Okay. Talking about a wormhole. Using black holes as a solution for how to open multiverse portals has been a popular in science fiction for decades, but there was a complication. The intense gravity of a black hole and resulting tidal forces at its event horizon would squish people and the spaceships into something far finer than jelly. But it turns out, they say, this is not always the case. If a black hole is large enough and spinning rapidly, passing through the event horizon might hardly be noticeable. Kana compares it to passing your hand rapidly over a candle flame and you barely feel a moment's heat. This still leaves the would-be interdimensional explorers with the challenge of finding a suitable black hole. Alas, they will probably need to go many light years in order to reach it. Far more difficult than, say, a trip to London. But no one ever said that interdimensional travel would be easy. What is remarkable, though, in fact, astonishing, scientists, not just science fiction writers, are starting to think about it. So they would probably need to go many light years in order to reach it. It would have to be large enough and spinning rapidly. Passing through the event horizon might hardly be noticeable. Well, we got a candidate. We have a candidate for that very sentence right there. We do got a candidate right here. Okay, we got it. We got it right here. And it's this mysterious bright flash is a black hole jet pointing straight toward Earth. It's that super invisible monster. Now, notice the date on this article. It's November the 30th of 2022. That's what the date is. They're talking about it earlier. They said earlier this year is when they detected the extraordinary flash in a part of the sky where no such light had been observed the night before. All of a sudden, you all, they found it the very next night where no such light was seen before. And from a rough calculation, the flash appeared to give off more light than 1,000 trillion suns. More light than 1,000 trillion suns. So they got their equipment out over the next few days. The team led by researchers at NASA, Caltech, elsewhere, posted their discovery to an astronomy newsletter where the signal drew the attention of astronomers around the world. including scientists at MIT. Over the next few days, multiple telescopes focused in on the signal to gather more data across multiple wavelengths in the X-ray, ultraviolet, optical, radio bands to see what they possibly produce such an enormous light. Now, this is really interesting. When you read this right here, scientists and astronomers from all over the world gathered. There was an event that was predicted, that was to occur, where astronomers and scientists from all over the world gathered. They gathered in groups and they did their little thing because they were looking for the KIC 938227 or something like that. They're looking for this particular event. They're looking for something in the stars, in the sky. It was prophesied. I'm just going to say that. So they gathered. So they did their study. Like this. It was a 2022 CMC, likely comes from a relative jet of matter streaking out from a supermassive black hole at close to the speed of light. They believe the jet is the product of a black hole that suddenly began devouring a nearby star, releasing a huge amount of energy in the process. And it's a tidal disruption event. Let's get to this, you all. This might be a little bit too wet. This is important. The source is the farthest TD. This is brighter than any tidal disruption ever discovered today. The source is also the furthest ever detected at some 8.5 billion light years away, more than half away across the universe. Now, mind you, it's more than half the way across the universe, and it's 8.5 billion light years away. But this article is from November the 30th of 2022. It was earlier in the year when the scientists found this information out. Earlier in the year, and it's in November now. How could such a distant appear so bright in our sky? The team says the black hole's jet may be pointing directly toward the Earth, making the signal appear brighter than if the jet were pointing in any other direction. The effect is Doppler boosting, similar to the impeding up a sound of a passing siren. It is the first tidal, whatever event, I've already forgot about it, discovered using an optical survey, you all. This right here is, it's a supermassive black hole, and they feed really, really fast. So you can see that right there. This is like what it kind of looks like. You know, it was really strange because I've had this on my computers as my screensaver for a long time. It's been a few years. Right there, I thought, I love that. That's what I said. I know I put that as my screensaver. And now we're talking about a black hole, or a massive black hole, but that would be like a 2 stars, massive stars. Yeah, something like that. 8.5 billion light years away. That's where my question came from. That's how far away it was, and it's got its eye pointed straight toward Earth. It was 100 times more powerful than the most powerful gamma wave afterglow. Okay. It's extraordinary. Look at this. They found that the X-ray emissions from this right here swung widely by a factor of 500 over a few weeks. It's an extreme accretion, I can't even say the word, episode, generates a huge churning disk from such as a tidal disruption event. Shredded star created a whirlpool, you all. It's generating matter, all this. It's Earth targeting jet. It's fast moving. And they found that it's moving at 99.99% the speed of light. Hyperfeeding. It's on a hyperfeeding frenzy. So if it's on a hyperfeeding frenzy, that's why it's ripping and tearing its way through space. ripping and tearing its way through space. It's an invisible monster, and it's headed straight toward Earth. Earth is its destination, and we read about this right here. They're looking for a black hole so they could open a multiverse portal, but they don't have any candidates unless they need to go many light years away to reach it. Many light years to find a black hole large enough and spinning rapidly, passing through the event horizon without being noticed, like rubbing your hand over a candle. So we got this. 99% the speed of light. It's 8.5, let's look at it again, billion light years away. So I was asking how much time, if there was a wormhole, that was created, if CERN could do that, create a wormhole, they've already detected, they got their eyes set on that thing because it's like unlike nothing they've ever seen before. It's been described as a beast. It's been described by NASA as having a tussle, and it got rejected from its host galaxy. And it's got a trail of stars behind it. Lots and lots of stars, newborn stars behind it, headed straight toward Earth. It really read like a story out of the Bible. Okay, it's headed straight toward Earth, 8.5. Okay, so this is what it asks, how much time would pass, this is from science.com, through a wormhole. 1 second, it would travel that. So let's take us over here to the explanation that was given on the Facebook, because he did answer it. Chris Manzano on the Facebook. If an astronaut went through a wormhole and it took only 1 second of their time to travel 10,000 light years, then it would take 850,000 seconds to travel 8.5 billion light years. This is equal to 14,166 hours, or 588 days, or just over 1.6 years. To put it in perspective, it would take light itself 8.5 billion years to travel 8.5 billion light years. So the astronaut would be able to travel 8.5 billion light years in a fraction of the time that it would take light to do so. And this would allow them to reach distant galaxies and stars that would otherwise be unreachable. But of course, he says, wormholes are still theoretical objects, and it's not known if they actually exist. However, if they do exist, they could revolutionize space travel and allow us to explore the universe in ways that were previously impossible. So at 1.6 years, this thing is 8.5 billion light years away. 8.5 billion light years away. This article was in November. So just take 1 year from even this date, that would bring us to December of 2023. Then December of 2023, then it bring us to probably like, I don't know, maybe November 2023, maybe May of 2024. But they said they noticed it earlier in the year. So whatever date that was early in the year, if you would go, say maybe May, I really do think earlier in the year was around the May timeframe that they noticed it, May of 2022 or April. I think that's really what it was when they noticed that light. So if you would add 1 year and 6 months to that, that would put us around the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024. If CERN were to create a wormhole, and we know that it's not crazy to speculate that they could create it. They could create it. Does they have the ability? There were some things like, the Norway spiral. And then somewhere in California, we did a video on this. There was like a spiral that was seen in the air. And at the same time, at this facility where they do experiments, I think it was in California, there was this naval ship that shot a Trident thing up in the sky at the exact timing, and boom, they created a rip in the sky like a big old hole. Like they opened up a portal, you all. So I think it's very plausible. I really do think it's plausible for something to be traveling really fast and make its way here. I think it's like, wow, they just pull right straight through there, you all. And if that black hole truly is a entity, primordial entity, Gina, now you talking crazy now. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm talking realistic. It could be an intelligent being. It really could be. And it could change our world overnight. If they're looking for that, really think, if they're looking for a black hole to do the multiverse, and we have the metaverse and stuff like that. We got portals. We have an alternate, I don't know, world. You could have an entity that could be in control of the virtual reality world. You could. It could have control of everybody. It really could. Now, this is just Gina just hypothesizing. That's all. Hypothesizing about that black hole because they're looking for a suitable black hole. They need a suitable black hole, one that's large enough and spinning rapidly, that can pass through the event horizon without shredding everything to pieces. And they'd have to go billions of light years away. And I think they got their candidate. I really think they've got it. That's really strange to be talking about this right now and knowing that I have this on my screensavers. And I saved it for my screensaver for some strange reason. I thought it was pretty. Your heart is racing. You have to concentrate. Rainbow turtle, honey. Yeah, we hope you can just like keep it at peace. Keep it calm down, you all. John, CERN is such a waste and foolishness. The modern day Tower of Babel. Now we can look and see. Let me see something, you all. Let me see if I can get over here. Shrink that. Well, I'm going to get over here, open it up. What was I? Let me sit here and think. We're talking about this black hole that's barreling through space, right? I want to, let me take you to one video if I can. Come over to my YouTube channel. Oh, I'm not logged in. I'm not going to log in right there, but I'm over here on my other channel right here. Let me get like this. I have a playlist, and let me come down here on this playlist, you all, if I can. There is a playlist on here, and there, I'm very satisfied. I like I like it. I don't even know what I said, but I like it. I like it. I love it. I do. The Mysterious Stars. I want to see something called, let's see this playlist. I think I might have something in here. Go to this video right here. Go to my playlist called The End Times. Right here. The prophecy of Israel, Jeremiah 3:6. Go to the playlist. Come over here to this video right here. They too are searching. They are searching for a certain bright star. And it's very informative. I feel like what they're searching for is also what these telescopes that are out there are searching for. And they had astronomers from all over the world, scientists, and this is exactly the same thing that played out right here during this right here, when they prepared the scroll, because they were looking for the year 2022, or think, or something like that was going to happen. And then it was all over the internet, and then they wiped the internet clean. They wiped it totally clean. They had professionals and everything looking for this, doing all the calculations and stuff. It was, and then they hushed it up. I think they found it. I really do, you all. It's strange, but they called it something different. They called it something different, but there was a merger that was supposed to have occurred, and they said you would see it coming. They would be able to see it coming. And let me see, if I wish I could find it. I really do wish I could find it on here. I'm just scroll through here, you all. So they've got everything prepared. They do. And I know that I'm not supposed to show stuff like this. This is the one that they were talking about, a dull star that they were looking for, but it was supposed to be coming. And I think that I think it's tied to it. I really do. It's tied to all of this invisible thing that's coming and all of that. I may be wrong, totally wrong. But anyhow, if I'm totally wrong, that's okay, because I'm just hypothesizing. But it's very interesting. I would still watch that right here. I would. And they're looking for a black hole. They got their black hole, and it could get here in 1.6 whatever years. 1.6 years. We could see this massive black hole get here at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. We could. I'm about done. I am, you all. I'm done. The Android emojis. Do they got Android emojis on here? Hello there, Rowania Blue. Your Aunt Gina says hello. Yeah, I'm going to go. So it's like, yeah. Call it an invisible monster and a beast. Invisible monster and a beast. It has a trail. So it has a trail behind it, but it's supposed to be sucking everything in, but it's doing the exact opposite. It's doing the exact opposite. It's got something behind it also, which doesn't really make sense, but it's all right, I guess. It's got light at the end, and they sitting there laughing at it and making fun of it. But it's not funny at all. It's not funny at all. The strange, oh yeah, let's get this, you all. This is really important too. The strange part about it, see, this is what it, look, the supermassive, let me do this. Can you get that off of there? Get off of there. I don't want to look at Google on here. Okay, the strange part about the discovery is, this is important, the unusual movement pattern of the black hole and the fact that it is forcing star formations instead of eating them. It's forcing star formations instead of eating them. It made an unusual movement. I think it, see, it's got 200,000 light year long contrail behind it. Twice the diameter of our Milky Way. Yeah, but it made a very strange thing. You all should read up on it, which we did some stuff on it. Very unusual. Look how they said this. There's an invisible monster that zips through intergalactic space. Then a third galaxy with its supermassive black hole came to crash the party. It came to crash the party. Look at that. Ripping and tearing. It's the beast. A quiescent beast. I don't know what a quiescent beast is. Quiescent. They called it also, they described it as a rogue. A rogue. Hello there, Nierka. A rogue is what they described it as. It's making a path of stars behind it. The long journey. A star bridge links the galaxy to the runaway black hole. I didn't hear that described before. A bizarre star bridge. No, I'm not doing it, you all. I'm done here because I'm done clicking into this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go. What's happening? Yeah. Ghostbusters. So if there was a wormhole that it came through, if they could travel through the wormhole, I posed a question on here. If an astronaut, if it took 1 second to travel 10,000, it would take 1 second to travel 10,000 miles through a light years. It would take 1.6 years to travel 8.5 billion light years if there was a wormhole that it came through. If there was a wormhole, it could get here that fast. But it's ripping and tearing through space. It's on a feeding frenzy. It's got a trail of stars behind them, and it's really strange. So I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours, love. You have a wonderful rest of your day. You all get some rest. And don't worry about that invisible monster because there's nothing you can do about it. You can't stop it. After all, it's a supermassive black hole. It's a beast. And it's traveling at 99.99 the speed of light, the speed of light. And they've never seen anything like it in their life. They haven't. And scientists and astronomers from all over the world studied it. Love you. Have a good night. You all. Love you.